Now, if we turn to the Heidelberg Catechism, Lord's Day 42, and that is found in your books. Would it be 110? Or no? 44, okay, different book that I'm using now. But 44. Lord's Day number 42, we'll be reciting Article 110 and 111. If you recite after me. What does God forbid in the Eighth Commandment? God forbids not only such theft and robbery as are punished by the government, but God reads as theft also all wicked tricks and devices, whereby we seek to get our neighbor's goods, whether by force or by deceit, such as unjust weights, lengths, measures, goods, coins, usury, or by the means forbidden of God, also all covetousness and the misuse and waste of his gifts. Article 111. But what does God require of you in this commandment? That I further my neighbor's good where I can and may deal with him as I would with others deal with me, and labor faithfully so that I may have the poor in their need. This is one of those places where we see two things happening. In the Eighth Commandment, thou shalt not steal. So in the Eighth Commandment, we have two aspects. We're going through the roles of the magistrate in Sunday school with Pastor Jeff Menive. And so we find here in question 110, another key role of the civil government authority are charged to protect all people. What is the magistrate being charged with here? It seems like thou shalt not steal. Here in question, what does, if God forbid, well, how does he do that? Is it just you not doing that? He's also charged the government with a key role as a great example of God's common grace as he patiently demonstrates his character unto a fallen mankind. This demonstration is to protect us. We don't think about it when you go to pump your gas. Who is making those scales correct? The company? Chevron? Exxon? It's the magistrate. They are charged with being able to set those scales properly and accurately for the people's good, that we're not being ripped off. What about the banking industry? We have all kinds of rules that govern the banking industry. We trust that they're giving us the right interest. We can look at our bank book and see that. But how they handle that money, the government is overseeing that as well. So the government is charged as a magistrate. The church is given that permission to the government to look out after our welfare. We see this in many areas of life. Police officers giving tickets to obey the laws on the road. The driving is a privilege. It is not something that we are guaranteed. It's something that we have to do that is going to be corrected if we go out of the laws of God, which is don't speed above 55, 65 miles an hour, whatever the law says. Driving recklessly, you will be pulled over for that because it's the protection of your neighbor, because you are going to destroy that person's car if you get in a car accident. And the laws say you have to have insurance to pay for those things. So the magistrate is governing these things to protect God's people. This is called his common grace. This would be also in the areas that God uses in the law, the blessing and cursing. If you do what is right, will it not go well with you? But if you do wrong, will you not suffer for your evil works? On the Lord's Day 1 and 10 and 1:11, they're a juxtaposed position that is closely together to demonstrate Our Lord is giving us a work as a pleasure to care for others, as we demonstrate with the building of hospitals. Look, he's saying, work with your hands that you may have something to give. We recite this quite often. We see that this is, let me find it here. Let him who stole steal no longer. This is from Ephesians 4:28. But rather let him work and labor with his hands what is good, that he may have something to give to him who has need. So it's not just in the stealing of taking that isn't yours, but it's also in the giving what God has given you. Because all of the world belongs to the Lord, and everything that you own belongs to him. So we have a role in demonstrating this with a hospital. Hospitals take money. Hospitals require work. You get paid with that. If you are stealing from the hospital by not caring for somebody's life is put in jeopardy. You're stealing the wages that are being paid for you to be able to care for that patient by taking an extra coffee break and the person's monitor goes off and you're not there to care for them. Are you not stealing their life? So with that, we can see that another one is the goodness and contentment, godly goodness with contentment. This is from 1 Timothy 6:6-7, is for great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and we certainly will carry nothing out. So we can have something that we can have working with our hands. It brings great joy. The Great Commission, the commission that was given to us at creation, the Creation Commandment was work and sweat is what you are going to do. Till the ground. It will be for your pleasure, giving you something to do that you might be able to have your time on earth be able to give to someone else. Fathers care for their family by raising up their children, by working. Mothers care for their family by doing the work of caring for the children. He does not mean work to be a burden. Work is a pleasure, and it should be treated as a pleasure. 6 days we are given to work. The seventh day is a day of rest. And in so doing, we have a day that we can not think about doing all that other work, but think about what God has given us, which is the worship of him. To care for the family. It's a way of giving back. So stealing is not just taking what is not mine, but stealing is also stealing what I could give to others that God has given to me and not doing it. So with that, that's Lord's Day 42.